Time for the main event!
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Over at Take-Two, the boss weighs in. The boss of Take-Two weighs in on what he thinks of WWE 2K and the franchise going forward, and you'll be shocked what he has to say. Let's go check out this article on IGN and then have a little discussion, because there's both good and bad in here, and well, I had to talk about it. Let's get to it. Alright, so here's the article in question, and this is over on IGN.com. Shoutouts to them. I'll leave a link in the description down below. And here is the writer by Wesley Yinpol. Shoutouts to you. This dropped early this morning. Anyway, so it says Take-Two's boss says 2K's WWE franchise could be double or triple the size it is now. Now let's read here. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to read the main parts here. The boss of Take-Two believes 2K's WWE video game could be much more successful than they currently are, pointing to, quotations, ongoing opportunities to improve the quality of the game. That goes without saying. While 2K's WWE franchise is successful, it's overshadowed by 2K's NBA franchise, which makes mountains of cash for the parent company, Take-Two. Both games are developed by the California-based studio Visual Concepts. The most recent release was WWE 2K26, which IGN awarded it a 7 out of 10. WWE 2K26 benefits most from having been built on a tremendous foundation, one that's been going back all the way to the original SmackDown game on PS1, one that has barely had to change, yeah, but continues to in ways that are starting to hurt more than help. Obviously, he's talking about the Ringside Pass, the changes to My Faction, where they're really pushing money, and they're pretty much getting rid of all the cheese methods you can have to get the stuff faster, you know, the My Faction points and stuff like that. They said, and then WWE 2K27 is already confirmed, which already hurts 2K26, because now people are going to be like, even though it's a year off almost, people are going to be like, well, I'll just wait for 2K27, with all the negativity that we have around 2K26. Anyways, likely it's going to release in March 2027, like it's been for the last couple of years. And then this is what really made me want to make this video. He says, in its latest financial report, Take-Two said WWE 2K26 recurrent consumer spending, we'll go over what that means here in a second. I'm pretty sure some of you smarties already know what that means. But for those of us that didn't, we'll go over that in a second. It is up 20% year over year and more than 85 million matches played, an increase of 7% compared to WWE 2K25. But Take-Two CEO Strass Zelnick told IGN that he believes the WWE franchise could grow significantly, saying Visual Concepts always wants to do better. So, it could grow significantly. In which way? Quality or financially? Probably they're intertwined. If it grows way better, like quality-wise, then the financialness will obviously come with it, right? So that's like the bottom line. But obviously he's the CEO. He wants to make more money. He wants money, money, money. That's how CEOs operate. That's how they run the business. Any business, not just wrestling. But yeah, so anyway, what does recurrent consumer spending mean? It says, in gaming industry, refers to ongoing revenue from players who continue to engage with the game over time, rather than just purchasing the initial game. It includes in-game purchases, virtual currency, add-on content, and in-game advertising. So unlike one-time sales, RCS, which is recurrent consumer spending, is generated when players buy in-game items, cosmetics, or currency, subscribe to a premium service within the game, purchase downloadable content, DLC, or expansions, engage with in-game ads or events. With the island mode, with all the new stuff in My Faction, the way they're really, really hammering down on charging you for content, for cards, and stuff like that. Yeah. And of course, the game itself costs, what, $10-20 more than it did last year for the Creme de la Creme edition, which, if you look at all the contents, it's not worth the price. However, if you do buy it all separately, if you just buy the base game and you buy all the DLC separately, you'll end up spending like 3 times as much than if you would if you just bought it outright at $150 US dollars, or whatever it translates to your currency if you're not from the US. Anyway, so I saw this and it kind of like set this red flag off in my brain, like, dude, they're going to really push for more microtransactions every single year. They're going to really push that ringside pass. They're going to really push all these things because, and unfortunately, it's working. It's not working as the level they want, but it is working. Because if it's up 20% year over year, that's telling me that the fans, us, are spending that much more money every single year to these games. So despite all the negativity, despite all the snowball effect of all the bad stuff in these games, of course they're not going to listen to us. If the game's making hand over fist money and it's increasing every single year, they're going to be like, well, we're doing the right thing. We're making more money. And what sucks about this is at the end of the day, even with developers like Cornell Gunther who are trying to just make an awesome wrestling game, and the suits are going to do what they're going to do and have to shove in all these different things. I guarantee you next year we're going to have some new mode that costs money or has microtransactions in it. I don't think they're just going to limit it to the island and my faction. I think they're going to expand it to other modes, and it's really, really going to hurt the game. But they don't care if they get a 5 out of 10 review score. They don't care about that. All they care about is how much money people are spending in these games. He goes out and says the quality of the game. There's opportunities to increase the quality of the game. Of course, that's code for they can make different ways for more money spending, right? And I don't play the NBA games because I don't really care about NBA basketball. I did when I was younger. The last basketball game I played was one of the street ones on the PS2, I believe. And then before that, it was NBA Jam back on the Super Nintendo. So I've only really played like 3 or 4 different basketball games in my life because I don't really care about basketball. And the same thing with football. Whive only played like 2 Madden games. The one that was the first one on the 360, and one of them on the original. I want to say it was the whichever one was on the. I think it was the 64 or maybe the Dreamcast. I don't even remember because I'm not a big football guy, NFL guy. I remember playing Blitz on the N64. That was fun. NFL Blitz because you could like give people German suplexes, elbow drops, like overly tackle them. That was fun. That was a fun game. But yeah, my whole point of this video is what they're doing now. Everything that we can't stand, the microtransactions, the gouging players for money, it's working. And that's bad. That's really bad. So sure, they'll increase the quality of the game, but the parts where they charge money for everything, or for certain, for the modes, my faction and the island, are just going to get worse because, it's working. We're making tons of money. People are engaging with the modes more. So we're going to keep pushing those players that engage with those modes and charge them more money. I mean, at the end of the day, the more money this franchise makes, the more developers they'll get, the more revenue they'll get to make the games, you would think, right? Even though they laid off a whole chunk of their team, it was mostly just the mobile team that made the 2K25 for Netflix. But still, they're losing people. They're losing staff. So I'm not trying to turn this into the doom and gloom thing. It's just seeing them, they're spending up 20% year over year. That's a huge red flag for how this 2K26 has gone. What incentive do they have to fix the game when the spending's up every single year? It's like if the spending keeps going up, it's like, people are spending money, so let's just keep focusing on the next game and the next game and the next game without ever truly 100% fixing the current freaking game that we're all playing. So who knows? Maybe this video will just, it won't matter because tomorrow, as of making this video, there's supposed to be the Ringside Season Pass 3, which I am very excited for. Tori Wilson, Brian Pillman, La Parka, Matt Cardona, awesome 2001 Kane. I think Brock 03 was also in there. I could care less about all the My Faction stuff, but the wrestlers themselves, freaking awesome. That I can't wait for. Plus, I just got the game on PC, so I'll be doing some stuff on the PC version of the game. I don't know if I'll really, really go nuts with the mods. I'll probably just hang out with Mr. Dubs, give him my characters. The main reason I got it is to get my characters on Dubs' Dubs channel, because I hate using in-game wrestlers. They're too easy to predict and very easy to counter. If I give my own wrestler in there, it'll be much harder for him to counter, and I can actually stand a chance against his awesome Mr. Dubs character. Anyway, so with that being said, yeah, what do you make of this? I think this, financially, for what's been going on with this game, the fact that he's already saying that their spending's up 20% for 2K26, and it's only been out for 3 months. That's bad. That's really bad because they're not going to learn. They're not going to listen. They're like, well, our spending's up, so we're doing it. What we're doing is the correct path. It's Like all the people, they're just going to look at all the people trying to get the game to be in a good state and much, much better. They're going to be like, well, the game must be fine because people are spending the money. That's my whole point of my video is they're going to take this data of percentage of people or current consumer spending up 20% and be like, well, what we're doing is right. So let's just stick to this instead of like really listening to the fans. Because let's face it, these corporations probably don't listen to fans unless it's like a major, major issue like the ringside pass was. They were getting mass game returns. Like people were funding their money and everything because of how bad the ringside pass was at first. Most of the people that don't follow IGN or don't follow the gaming news or follow what's going on, they probably got the game. They paid for the ultimate version of the game, the Monday Night Wars edition, and then when they went to go use their DLC wrestlers, they're like, where the hell are my DLC wrestlers? Oh, I have to engage with this ringside pass all the way up to tier 20? F that. Refunded. That's probably what was happening in mass droves. I still can't believe they thought that was a good idea. Let's lock out wrestlers you paid for all the way to a tier 20. Even though it doesn't take that long to get to tier 20, it's just the principle of the thing. Because what happens when the servers go down? What happens when, like, let's say the internet's down for a day and you can't earn any ringside pass experience to unlock the wrestlers you paid for? I mean, that's a huge lawsuit waiting to happen the way that's designed. So I don't know what they're going to do with 2K27. I'm still excited for these wrestling games if they actually improve the quality going forward, because this is their first foray into current gen only game. Maybe next year will blow us all out of the water, and I'll eat these words that I'm saying in these videos right now. Anyway, sound in the comments below. How do you feel about this? Are you happy that the fact that their recurrent consumer spending, I keep getting tongue-tied trying to say this, is up 20% year over year? Sounds like we are the problem. Thanks for watching, and stay frosty.